Hey everyone, how's it going? Tharun here, and in this video we're going to talk about Query Selector. Okay, so what does this Query Selector do? So we saw about get element by ID, get elements by class name, and get elements by tag name. Okay, and this Query Selector is something which is going to do all of them. Okay, and you can employ, like, you can get an element by ID, or you can get an element by class name, or you can get an element by tag name. Okay, but the only thing which you have to remember here is that the query selector is going to grab only one. Yes, you heard that right. So if we use a query selector to get an element by ID, of course it's going to grab one. But again, if you use a query selector to grab an element by mentioning its class name, it is going to grab only the first one, the first element which it encounters. So again, we are gonna look at it practically onto our example as to how this works. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so we have our sticky note applications and the left out part from our previous tutorial. Let's just refresh. Alright, we have this, and let's clear this. And for this example, okay, let's again go back to our code, and first let us do it with ID. Again, let's grab this by Tharun Shiv, okay, and it has an ID of TS. So let's grab it using query selector. Let us give let TS equals to document dot query selector, and here is the catch. Okay, when you are mentioning the ID of an element which you want to grab, okay, just include this hash symbol, okay, and then mention the ID. Okay, mention the ID, so hash and TS. So close it and hit enter, and when I print TS, it is gonna give that p tag. Okay, so that is how you grab by element. Okay, when you want to use this query selector to grab an element by ID, that is how you do it. Again, now as I told you in previous tutorials, since we have grabbed that element, we can do anything with that. You can tell ts dot style dot whatever color equals to yellow, ts dot style, yeah, it would still work. Okay, so this would work, but this lesson is all about how to grab the elements using query selector. So let's focus on that. So we have grabbed it using ID. Now let us try grabbing it using class name. Alright, so we had this let ts equal to query selector. Let's just edit this to grab the input elements. Okay, and that is gonna have a class, right? Let us look at what class our input elements have. So our input elements have a class of input text. Now let's grab this input element and see if we get a HTML collection of input elements or something. Okay, let's try that. Again, to mention classes, you will have to use full stop first. Okay, and input text, which is the class name. Let me hit enter. It has grabbed it, and as I type I have not hit enter, it is telling me what it has grabbed. Okay, it has grabbed only the first input element. Okay, so that is the functionality of query selector. It is going to grab only the first one. Let me hit enter, and if I do I dot style dot background color, not so sure because it's just a text box, so border equals to 2 pixel solid black. Okay, and it has a black border. It is not that visible because it is of the black color. Okay, so it has a black border, and I is just one element. It doesn't have the complete two input elements. Okay, so by the way, if you're wondering that the query selector only returns as one and does not return as two or more elements in it. Say last time when we were using get elements by class name or get elements by tag name, we were getting two or more elements, right? But this time we are not getting it. And if you're wondering how we are going to get that, so I have answers exactly for you in the next video. So in the next video we'll be talking about something special which can help you grab any number of items. Okay, and which is similar to query selector. So see you guys there. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Thank you for joining.